Y'all tuning to Boss Talk Radio.
You're tuning in to your host, Seven, and his co-host, Ash. So nice to see you back.
I want to make Baton Rouge one of the spots like, yo, this
agency.
Black House Agency, yeah.
Yes.
She done elevated.
In this generation, like, you can be any kind of entrepreneur you want, right?
We done with you. We gonna talk more about you and how you... Alright, so it's on you, Seven.
Alright, y'all tuned in to Boss Talk Radio. Me and Ash. And then we got the Kampagne crew. My homegirl Myra. And we got BG, Brad Gordon, or what we call him, Big Gangster. You know, whatever y'all.
That's what you call him, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So, Myra and Brad. Myra, what is it that you do?
So my name is Myra Richardson. I have a few businesses, but my primary business is Red Torch Consulting. So I got started when I was 17 in activism after Alton Sterling was murdered. And from there, I did a lot of activism both nationally and locally, being able to partner with the Obama administration and do policy development. And then I formed those political relationships by working in the Louisiana legislature. And from there, I was able to develop my own business through my relationships that I had cultivated. And I came up with my consulting firm. And from there, into property development. I've done a little bit in the trucking sector. So between all of those different things and diversifying and saying that, like, I wanted more for myself as a young black woman, especially in Baton Rouge, especially in Louisiana. Absolutely. That was, like, all super important to me.
Okay. And Myra is also a BRH alumni.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs. Okay, we got the same alma mater. So, Brad, what is it that you do?
It's been a long time since I heard somebody rep Baton Rouge High. That was
right.
That was a weird flex.
At least we have an education worth repping, because that McKinley stuff.
Don't do that. That was the first.
Y'all only got that because y'all took it from Southern.
like, let's put Southern funds and build this super nerd school.
All right. Let's get back down to it. All right, Brad.
My name is Brad Gordon. Lifelong Baton Rouge resident.
We do dope events, bro. We do dope events, bro.
Okay, so everybody here is Kampagne. Is there anything that you do outside of Kampagne? Any other separate endeavors that you do?
Man, if he don't start, he's being so
Kampagne
humble.
is so Brad. You know, it's Brad going international. Kampagne, you know, is Kel, BJ, you know what I'm saying? But Kampagne Sundays, that's the team, you know, Kampagne Sundays.
So this is a team that's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
This is a team that makes operations flow.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Professor X right there.
Professor X.
But no cap, he's being very humble. But I think that's also one of his superpowers, is not giving away his whole hand at the one time. But he is a award-winning event curator. He is a dope logistics and consultant. He is very, very talented at brand development, relationship development, and as well as, you know, generating funds and financial cultivation as well. So I think those are amazing things that Brad does that people just don't know, like, how versed he is in those amazing things.
So we have a Renaissance man sitting over here. We have Professor X in the flesh.
That's why I call him Professor
X. He's been generous. Okay, he's definitely So moving on, we can go ahead and talk about the first topic of the evening, which is going to be essentially chasing freedom, not chasing that money. So right here, not to include myself, but I'll be there soon. Y'all just keep checking for me, and I'll be right here. It's in the works for sure. But right here, we have Baton Rouge's finest entrepreneurs, okay? So these people have found a way to cultivate their passions, to cultivate some of their best skills, and turn them into financial avenues of revenue, essentially, okay? So what was that like? We can start with you, Seven, because I know you promote, and that's definitely been something that took, it was a long time in the making, okay? We were just talking about your rags to riches, right? We were just talking about the come up. We were talking about...
You know,
we on the way there though.
I'm in the garage like Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I'm dying. We gonna edit that out. This the garage right here.
Okay, so we're in the works. We putting all the parts together. We're building this well-oiled machine for sure. Yeah. So Seven, we can start with you. Go ahead and talk about what was it like learning to chase freedom? How did the money come along after you attained that freedom? What was it like building your own empire from the bottom up?
with me, I ain't had no choice, you know. So I was in the plant life. That's how me and Brad got cool. You know, I was in plant. Now he wasn't in the plant, but he met when I was in the work field, and we was trying to like make the whole or the event stuff, the lifestyle where you just work for yourself. But after a while, so when I got sick, diagnosed with Crohn's disease, I actually couldn't even go back to the plant because it was too much pressure, it's too much stress on my body. So I ain't had no choice but to become an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Or take a job where you're not really doing shit. So I became personal trainer and event planner.
Right.
So
event coordinators. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Myra, how was it? What's been, I guess, your yellow brick road? How did we get to where we are today for you?
I think it's a very like multifaceted approach. Like there's no one way to like how you make it happen or that it's replicatable or anything like that. First God, for sure. But for me, like I just was always, I grew up in Dixie. I grew up in 7805. So like everything that has occurred in my life, it's stuff that you would never believe or dream of. So it's not something that I could just be like, oh, here's the blueprint to make this happen. It was really sheer chance and like people legitimately believing and investing in me. I had amazing mentors that invested in me since I was a child and just saw something. And I think like that's the most catalytic thing that can happen to any black child, is like having a good mentor, having exposure. Like those two things right there could do anything for your life and can really take you further.
Absolutely.
But I started off in politics and I was able to take all of those relationships. I was able to put people in judge seats. I was able to help elect our first black constable. I was able to help do amazing campaigns that would change the trajectory of the city that I live in, where I'm from, and have long-term implications for children that look like me. And that's what I was passionate about. And I think that I was never really chasing money. I think I was chasing impact. And because I was chasing impact, the success and the money and the awards, all that came with it. Like it was just a caveat more so.
Okay. All right. And I agree with everything you said thus far. But if I'm being 100% honest, for the time that I've known you, you've always had the potential. You always have done a great job from what I've seen at definitely manifesting that potential. Every ounce of it. Everything that I've ever seen you put your hands on. I saw the passion early on, and you were very steadfast in that. You are one of the most consistent people I've seen. So to see you grow as much as you have up until this point, it is not just sheer chance.
You literally, we went to high school together.
Well, we did. Y'all graduated the same year?
We graduated in 17.
Yeah, together. We both graduated 17. So
what the hell they was feeding y'all back then?
Man,
that's supposed to be.
Because he loves to say that we are just different breed. Like we're just this
I do think
entrepreneurial,
Baton Rouge high women are just a top tier experience. That is
especially the black ones, because there weren't many of us.
See, no, this was what it was. Y'all was eating at that corner store, SPI.
Oh, Lord, not the chicken.
Look, see, they already know about the chicken. That's really what it is.
Mustard,
it must be in the hormones that they fed the chickens, because we got it. We got the sauce.
You know what I'm saying?
We got the sauce.
She right about that.
That's all that fried chicken.
Yeah, but back to it.
Fried chicken.
For sure, I just had to throw that in there. Shut up, Seven. I had to throw that in there because like I said, girl, from jump, I've seen everything that you put your hands on came to fruition and flourished. Okay, so for sure, I had to throw that in there. All right, Brad. So tell us about your, I guess, rags to riches story. Where did you start? Who guided you along the way? What beacon of light has brought you to where you are today?
I would say it's not really rags to riches or whatever.
Okay.
Usually it's, maybe for some people it's stability to, oh shit, what did I really do? I like blew my whole life up or whatever. Which is usually honestly what happens. I don't know. I just, to me, work for me became almost like disrespectful to like just get up every day and like I just felt like I was disrespecting myself.
Absolutely.
For real.
That's the funniest thing I ever heard in my life.
No, it is.
No, like dead ass.
Going to work every day, like, hey, let me work my ass off and then hope somebody sees enough in me to, hey, give me a promotion.
Right.
Because we know, is really has to be given even if you earn it. Hey, so let me, increase ways that I can, make more money if you so allow me to.
Right,
and again, to me, that's just like that's like me disrespecting myself or whatever.
Right.
That's not them disrespecting me. If I'm going to continue to get up every day, subjugate myself to that kind of bullshit, the everyday work politics and all the other stuff, and then at the end of the day, no matter what you feel that you're earning,
it's still up to that other person.
It's still up to the other person or whatever. So you really don't truly have the stability that people try and fool you and think that you have, but you really ain't making no fucking money.
That's the big part. Yeah.
And understand when I say you're really not making any money, I'm not talking about, somebody, you're making 30 grand, 40 grand. I'm talking 60, 70, $80,000 for what you give up. 90 grand. You're not making no money.
Right.
Like every day you gotta get up or whatever. You gotta ask permission to go on a field trip with your kids. You gotta ask permission to be sick in a lot of jobs or whatever. Like hey,
crazy.
I'm sick or whatever.
Can I have today off?
You can take even jobs that you have sick time. You can take it off, but if they feel like they need you or whatever, they feel like that you should come in there, suck it up, and then if you die after that or whatever, they can be like, damn, man, Brad was a good dude, whatever. All right, who next? Who we hiring next?
Yeah, Joseph, don't you got a little brother that need a job?
That ain't,
sucks. Yeah.
that's not necessarily a life that I decided that I wanted to live.
Right.
Now, also let me say this. I am not saying that there's anything wrong with living that way. I'm talking about for me.
This is your perception of that.
Not just my perception. I'm talking about for me.
Yeah.
This is your reality.
that was for me. Yeah. That's not for everybody else. Or
right.
I have a younger sister or whatever. She has a great life, great job. I don't see her having that spirit of entrepreneurship in her or whatever. But she's found her way to the life that she would like to have or whatever, which my sister actually was, out of the two of us, was the one that applied herself all the way through school. Not me. I started getting distracted by other things. But no, you gotta be willing to, first you gotta be willing to be doubted or whatever, because everybody's gonna think you crazy. So, go ahead, lock in, ride the crazy train, like, yes, I'm fucking psycho or whatever. Like, your mama probably gonna think you crazy. Your daddy, you like a lot of people.
I am the one that's going against the grain right now.
Are gonna think you crazy. Get ready to be laughed at or whatever, because when you first get out there or whatever, you trying to figure shit out or whatever. Like, ain't but one way to if you truly want to build something. So let me say there's a difference. If you want to build something or whatever, you're gonna go through the phase of people laughing at you, this, that, and the other, while you trying to figure it out. But again, in life, everything that we do, you gotta crawl before you walk.
Right.
That's just part of it.
Absolutely.
If you're the kind of person that likes to look for shortcuts, the quick way, people that like to build things that are not sustainable or whatever, hey, I gotta just hop from wave to wave, fake relationship to fake relationship, that kind of thing, or whatever. You can take a shortcut, a financial shortcut, but at the end of the day, you don't have a strong foundation in which to build anything on. What else? Get ready to feel like you made it to the top, and then realize, man, I'm on level 2.
Yeah, that's a stage I'm in now. Like, this was my first real entrepreneur year. So all the other years I thought I was an entrepreneur or a boss, I was like, this year made me like, damn. And but thankfully we got BG, Professor X. Like you say, you had a mentor. You know what I'm saying? So Brad was like that for me. So from Bar Louis to the office to Campagne Sundays, and then we got some more stuff.
And I think Brad said something that's like mad important, is like certain people who don't look like us get to like perform in mediocrity, and like they get to make mistakes and get 100 chances, but like with us it's like either you're gonna get it or you're not. And like for a lot of us, this is the first time our family, like not just the immediate family, but like ancestry wise, has seen the opportunity to do what we do. Like Brad wouldn't be able to perform the way he performs 40 years ago and be able to come into these people's spaces and tell them like, you about to do this and I want this, and make the type of demands and leverage stuff. And that's the same for you. Like you haven't been able to command that attention if this was another time period. So like,
Right.
honestly, like people just I tell people like the most audacious thing that you can do is be present and try. Like people just don't understand like the power of just putting yourself out there. Like that is radical in itself. Like to be like, oh, I'm about to go outside and I'm about to do this when everybody else deciding to go inside, you know? And then being able to perform the way that we have during the pandemic,
Absolutely.
that in itself was barrier breaking and set the tone for a lot of other people. Like these are things that they wouldn't have been able to do.
Right. For sure.
And constantly
being
busy.
an entrepreneur in the pandemic and actually being successful, man, it
Crazy.
It took a real team. Like that's like we had to come up with all type of rules. You know what I'm saying? Making people wear masks. You know, capacity issues,
Table sections,
Yeah, like
restrictions.
if you won in the pandemic, you came out like built for it. You know?
Right. It's a different type of person that you're cultivated to be if you have that type of success through those extenuating circumstances, for sure. I guess for myself, I kind of have a different song. I sing a different song. I'm still essentially, I don't really, so I'm employed through a dentist office. I'm a practice manager by trade, but I haven't been there in about 2 years since the pandemic started. So since then, I'm also active duty military. So be prepared to hear all the jokes from 7 about G.I. Jane and everything else I do. I'm active duty military. As it stands right now, I've been activated for COVID, and I'm a medic also. So I'm pretty important to that cause in that respect. But I definitely have other goals and other aspirations that are so far beyond the 9 to 5. It's ridiculous. I definitely feel the same way my counterparts do as it pertains to this 9 to 5 thing. It's just not for me. I don't see myself, getting up, wanting to clock in every day. I don't want to have to ask somebody to take off. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have my my creativity limited. I don't want to, and I'm not saying that anybody who chose, just like Brad said, I'm not saying that anybody who chose to do that 9 to 5 path or go after some professional career that is dictated in that manner. I'm not saying that you have those restrictions. My mind feels limited by it, is what I'm saying. So when it all boils down to it for me, I see so much more for myself outside of that, and that's what I'm going after. Content creation is a passion of mine. I'm also a nail technician. I do have passion for medicine. I enjoy helping people out. I like to make people feel better. I'm in it for the next person. But as it pertains to everything else, there's just so much more that this world has to offer. There's so many more opportunities, like Myra said, for young black people, for young black women, okay? We have opportunities that we've never had before, and I intend to seize all of them.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Exactly. So I don't feel the need to settle for myself when there's so much more out here that we can attain, so much more that we can scale. All businesses, I feel like if you have a passion, I feel like it can be turned into something lucrative. Not saying that you're in it for the money, right? Because the whole topic that we're talking about right now is chasing freedom of whatever that may be for you, freedom of time, freedom to do what you want, you know what I'm saying, freedom from whatever it is you may see that's binding you, right? But in total, that's pretty much, in summary, that's pretty much who I am and where I've come from so far. And 7 brought me on to the show. You guys had the intro prior to this, so you all know our backstory. Again,
if I had a job, we wouldn't even be able to do this.
Right. And just so happenly, I have the freedom, within the job that I have right now with the military to do this. And I'm so excited because content creation has been like my thing for forever. So moving on, right? Did you guys have anything else to put in towards that topic before we move on?
I do want to say, I think that the common denominator between all of our statements is that we're not bashing 9 to 5s. You could totally have a 9 to 5 and be a boss. You could just have a 9 to 5. You could just have a 9 to 5. Because what a regular 9 to 5 is gonna have that I'm not gonna have is a retirement. If there is a retirement and that stuff, by the time I'm ready to go up that route or whatever. But there are a lot of benefits to having a 9 to 5. It just wasn't for me. But I think the common denominator from anybody who chooses the entrepreneurial lifestyle or has that spirit is that you're curious about something, that you realize that there's something missing in your life, and whatever you're passionate about is not found in somebody else's vision, so you had to come activate your own. So exactly, it's not about a 9 to 5 or a job or whatever. It's about following what you're passionate about. So your job might actually be what you're passionate about.
And
You
if
might
it is,
genuinely love that. But for like us, it was like there was a vision that nobody else could duplicate or replicate or could fulfill unless we did it.
Right.
So like for
like-
all the entrepreneurs out there, like you had a vision, go apply pressure.
Yeah.
Do that. Make
Right.
that thing happen. And if you haven't started yet, start today.
Right.
Like there's no time like the present. And you know, why put off to tomorrow for what you could do today?
Right. And that's crazy because, you know, on another note, Seven and I were having this conversation earlier today, and I was telling him, like, people really think that their dreams are just worlds away, and they never are. The only thing that's between you and what you want to accomplish is your mental, it's your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Once you put anything into action with whatever resources you have in front of you, you have already won half the battle.
Period.
Consistency is just the rest. You showing up and being you every single way in your fullest capacity is the rest of the battle.
And
Whether
no
that
cap.
100% is 70 for that day and that's your 100%, you showing up as much as you can, you know what I'm saying, and whatever light and whatever respect that you show up in is already the battle win.
And no cap, I tell people like all the time, like people think like success is this fleeting thing or whatever, but what people really don't understand about success or following your passions or freedom or whatever it is that you're trying to ascertain, it's about what you do every day. It's not about what you do sometimes. It's about what you do consistently. That is
Right.
how you win. It's not about doing it when you feel like it or doing it when it's convenient or when it's not raining, because at the end of the day, you got to get it done.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Real life.
For sure. So the next thing I want to ask you guys is, I know you guys are all a part of the campaign, right? So are there any conflicts that you guys face? What are some things that you guys come against, like some hurdles? How do you overcome them? What are some things
I'm
that...
gonna let Brad start off.
Yeah, Professor.
Y'all chime in first.
Oh man, you see how he get it?
Everybody kind of cringes.
I mean,
What? No, it's not a
No, it's not even. I don't think there's anything that's like tremendously bad, because like whatever you pursue, there's going to be stuff that you have to pivot from and that you have to like kind of figure out every time. And I think it's like consistently like the team just figuring out like, hey, how are we going to solve this problem today? It's never like this is going to be impossible and we should just quit. It's what do we do this time? How do we pivot this time? Like they may call me and be like, hey, we got this situation. Well, we got to figure it out. There's no other option besides to make it happen. And I think that's what the campaign funnels down to, is like, how do we make it happen every time? And we consistently just make it happen.
Yeah, 'cause
Regardless,
it's
whatever.
literally it's something every week, you know, because you dealing with
Hundreds
you doing
of
the
people.
biggest day party in the South, like you doing this every weekend. So after
Consistency.
we was trying to run it like a regular day party, then after a while, I was like, whoa, this is a real event. So now you gotta get real event staff. So that was a conflict. Then you gotta watch the staff. Then we gotta hire people. So you know, Brad made a smart decision. We got Myra. Then it's just after a while the team started off like this, and then it became like this, and so that's one of the conflicts. I think just every week it was something new, you know, and you got to be ready for it.
And before Brad do whatever he's about to say and give us this really round response or this, you know, he like Batman. Brad be like vague with it. He be like
Very cryptic. You gotta figure it out.
No cap. But no, I swear like Brad might have like a little BG symbol somewhere floating in the sky, ready for. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is real life.
Like Brad is like the
people
calmest,
will
most
call-
theatrical, simultaneous person in the same
Well,
space.
Brad don't put the sign up. Like, well, no, that you know,
Other people call
put
him, sign up, be
that
like,
is-
Brad, come here, bud.
Right.
But no, like honestly, I think when you're growing as fast as the campaign grew, you're gonna have
Yes.
problems. And the thing is that you're not doing God's work if you don't have problems. Like if you're doing something so fire, you're gonna have opposition. You're gonna have people who gonna doubt it. You're gonna have people that be like, oh, this, and this, and this. If you're not getting criticism, you're not making moves. Like
Yeah,
that's on
yeah.
period.
And
That no matter what you do.
And that's really what I like about being an entrepreneur. My thing, it's like being able to create. Like I want to do the podcast. I want to work out. So it's like whatever I like doing, I look at it like I need to find a way to get paid
Monetize.
to do what I like to do. Get paid
Right.
to work out. Get paid
Yes.
to
You need to get
Monetize
paid
your
by your
passion.
go party. I like
monetize
party.
your passion.
So it's like I'm getting that's what it is. Monetizing your passion.
Yeah.
All
Brad,
right,
what's your
BG.
input?
Sunday is the biggest.
It's not necessarily that about the conflict. It's about
The solution?
you have to go to a place that was not built with the intention to operate in that manner, in that fashion. You have to you have to work with ownership who, everybody in ownership may not share the same vision that you share or whatever. Of course, everybody shares the same common goal as far as the outcome financially or whatever.
Right.
The staff that they may have in place when you get there may not fit, what you're doing. And ultimately the biggest hurdle is, okay, hey, you have staff in place, you have certain systems or you don't have systems in place that fit what you do, 90% of your hours of operation at this particular business. But hey, we come in and we're operating on this little 10%, time slot outside of what you do or whatever. But in this 10% time slot outside of what you do,
making your whole revenue.
Yes, the revenue, created and generated, sometimes dwarfs what you do the rest of the week, which means that, hey, there's a certain amount of volume coming through there to generate that kind of revenue.
Okay.
And I'll say this or whatever, just to I can say this because creative people, smart people know that they can actually just go research, whatever a business makes or whatever.
Right.
But anyway, but to give you somebody the idea, an idea of how successful Kampagne Sundays were, you're talking about an event that operates for 6 hours a week, and year over year revenue created on the event $1.5 million. So business owners, you have a lot of people, sitting there creating business plans, for a business. The entirety of the business would create $1.5 million. So when we say that, hey, Kampagne Sundays is the biggest day party, it's the biggest day party in the South, in all honesty, we were talking about the vibe, the energy, the action of Kampagne Sundays. And that's more of a shout out to Baton Rouge necessarily than it is to us. We just facilitated it,
and they come support.
And they come support and they turn up. Look, I've been to day parties. We've all been to day parties in many different places or whatever.
Nothing like Baton Rouge.
And it's just nothing.
And
like
we literally get comments all the time when people be like, "Oh, I just drove from Texas to come here." Like they'll always tell us like, "Oh, I want to have a good time," and the day at the door being like, "It costs this much." Well, I didn't already got here, so they like, I just came from, I just came from Arkansas. I just came, like, people are coming from neighboring states to get this vibe. Like they heard about it, they saw it. It's something that, like, it set the tone for that entire space and will be, like, forever have a mark on that space. But what I will say that Brad said that was so important about that, and it's just for all entrepreneurs, is like that data to it, that matters. Like your data is the design for how you blow your business up. So like if you just operating like free willy-nilly, you're not doing no type of analytics, you're not trying to see like how much you're doing in sales, like all that stuff is gonna hurt you, right? Like nothing, men lie, women lie, but you know what don't? The numbers, okay?
Right, the metrics never
so talk to me in numbers, you know what I'm saying? I like,
show me something tangible.
Show me something. Give me a paper, let me see something. So, and I think that sometimes, like, again, because a lot of times we're breaking generational curses. We don't know this stuff. They're not teaching us this stuff. You got to go get it.
Yeah, you got to be hands on.
You definitely have to be hands on. Like you got to be going and listen to podcasts. You like this podcast here. You got to be, reading about it. Like you can't just think that you have all the answers within yourself and just pray about it, because faith without work is dead. Yeah. So what I was saying,
you have to go seek that information.
Yeah. What I would say about this is that what really made this business model and all the business models connected to us grow, because everything that's connected to us and connected to you all watching is going to flow and be prosperous, is that we constantly evolve. Like we the Beyonce of this thing. Like a hurricane came. I was like, dang, Brad, we about to cancel Kampagne. Brad was like, no, we're going to give the people a safe space where they can have air conditioning and food. Like that was pivoting. Like most people have been like, oh, we're going to cancel the event. Like, no, we're going to meet the people where they are. And meeting people where they are is going to consistently bring us business, consistently have people saying the name. People who ain't never been to Kampagne in 19 weeks being like, oh, I'm still trying to come to the, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe. Like people are legitimately bought into the vibe. So wherever we go, whatever we do, they messing with it.
And that's just like not being in the game, like chasing money. Like that's like it's chasing freedom. Like when you in the game, you chasing money, you miss steps like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't really stand on nothing. So whoever got the hottest shit, you trying to do what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And you'll damn near sell your soul just to get what they got going.
And don't know how much it took to get
just to replicate a vibe.
And not even saying like the times where like we're creating an experience that has never been here before. So you losing money on sometimes trying to bring people what they had never seen before. So you start losing money before you start making money, and that's every entrepreneur's like, you gonna hit the bottom line at some point. So like for us, it's like consistently that pivoting, that's what's gonna keep you on top. Like that figuring it out every day, and like at the bottom line, like that's what our team does. We just figure it out every time.
Right.
Olivia Pope parties over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I love Olivia Pope.
You gotta have a good team, though. You gotta have.
So I definitely like to summarize, to pull some important points. If you're listening for takeaways, if you're listening to gain some knowledge from these people, I think the most important takeaways, add to me, correct me if I'm wrong, you need that fluidity. You have to be able to adapt to your circumstances. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to be talked about. You have to be willing to not be the prettiest picture from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Because it always doesn't come out that way. You have to work. You have to crawl before you walk. You know, you have to be willing to compose a very loyal, hardworking team. You definitely can't do it alone. Am I correct? You have to be willing to put your pride and ego aside. You have to be willing to definitely just put it all in. Like put skin to the court. Like put skin in the game. Because if you don't, what really is it? What did you say? Faith without works is dead. You aren't getting anywhere. You can hope and dream for forever, but until you get skin in the game and you get these important, almost necessary components in works, you can't manifest anything. You know. So with that being said, if we don't have any more comments from our guests and Seven, we good? We're gonna go ahead to a brief intermission. Okay, so we'll see you guys back in a second.
That we could use.
The Seven off in La La Land. He looking off into the sunset.
Oh, I was in my
3D print is so hard, bro.
I was on that.
I got the chains on the booth with me now.
That's why I graduated.
You press record. Yes, I see the red button. Okay, so we live.
All right, we back. You know, we gonna end it with, I guess, if somebody never partied in Baton Rouge, we're gonna pretty much give y'all an idea of what it's like, or why you should come book your section. You know, we might have Myra, Ash as the bottle girls, and I know y'all won't see that.
Girl. Okay.
Being a bottle girl is an amazing experience if you work for the campaign. I'm gonna say that. So anybody, if you live in Texas and you're a hot girl and you want to come be a bottle girl for the campaign, we'll take you.
We're gonna be having physicals this time around.
Oh Lord,
mental
not the physicals. Oh Lord,
you gonna have to pass
character and fitness test.
Yeah, you gonna.
Oh man,
Ash gonna do the nails. We're gonna have somebody. We're gonna have to pick your hairstylist and everything, cause
dog.
But that's
not the hairstylist.
But
oh man, I feel like we need to.
And you gonna have y'all on that Twin Peaks diet.
We need to hurry up and get off this topic.
Before you say anything more out of line, before say anything else.
Body positivity, okay?
Body positivity.
Nah, we
over here talking about man.
I don't even know what the Twin Peaks diet. They look like they eat chicken tenders. Like
y'all look up the Twin Peaks diet.
Man, Twin Peaks, another person need to drop that sponsorship. We saw you targeting our Twin Peaks. Don't drop nobody else up in here unless they cut the check.
They cut the check.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Right.
We monetizing everything.
But no, for real. So we were just talking about it while we were on break about what we want for our city. And I think a critical part about like what we move Baton Rouge for is definitely our nightlife, right? Like a critical component of what we do is filling the gap for young professionals and people in our age group. Like this, Louisiana is, notorious as being sportsman's paradise, right? But there are so many different other sectors and people that we need to fulfill for our community, right? Like there's young children, so like what are we doing for children? There's older people, we have the council on aging, but like there's nothing that is tending specifically to the needs of the 21 to 40 year old. Like what are they doing when they get off of work? And people think that partying is just like something that's supposed to be like this really like wasteful experience, but at the same time life is hard. Come hang out with us. Let us give you experience that you don't get in your 9 to 5. Let us give you an experience that you're not gonna get Monday through Friday. Come hang out with us on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, and then my favorite part about the concept of a day party is that the day party starts at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
We start at 4
and you be done by 10.
Hallelujah.
You go home, you wash up, you be like, dog.
No, damn well they ain't going home.
So productive.
Man,
well, they come to the campaign after.
Ain't nobody going home.
They make me so 12:06. So, anyways, you go to your destination after.
Okay,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
right. I know that's right. That's
You go
right.
to your whatever destination you have after. My point being,
They're saying that now because they're trying to rob you of your entire Sunday now. So after campaign from 4 to 10 when you party with us there, we have a second location where you can get the after dark situation, or should I say lituation.
That's if you still lurking. We really need to call it if you still lurking.
Ooh.
okay, that sounds very
Still lurking.
Child.
Cause that's what it is.
No Lord. That's the pull up little situation.
Cause you only going straight home from the day party if you get that text.
Ooh. Not that Sunday.
But I really be going straight home. I be watching like Power when Power was out. I get straight home, watch Power, or I might watch, BMF
I ain't
right
gonna lie,
now.
I be like snuggled up, getting ready for Monday. I ain't gonna even stand with you.
I
don't do that after dark.
Oh my God, you miss After Dark.
I miss every after dark
I'm
that we've
fucking missing
had.
that.
But I'm gonna come this week. You gonna pick up my tab, Dr. X? I'm just asking for the.
You the one with the 78 jobs over there.
Right.
Well, the way to stay rich is to not spend your money. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you, big bro.
You know they about to ask you for a favor when they hit you with that big bro. Big bro. That nigga.
No cap, that's how I be though.
They be having people older than me. What up, big bro? I said,
Not
damn,
the
here you
older,
go.
no. That's shady though.
I stopped wearing shorts with pockets. That way you just know I ain't got it on. None of my shorts, like, they ain't got no pockets. I had my little pouch, you heard, my little merch, you heard me?
Oh, the
But if I see somebody walking up and they look like they bought X for a favor, I kind of get rid of it.
You just
Turn to the back.
drop it to the side.
I ain't even got no pocket.
Boy,
So it's
people
like-
nowadays will wait. You'll be patting down all day long.
Nah.
You waiting on them to be like,
Hey.
it's alright, dude.
Man, I had one time somebody was like, man, you got cash here. I ain't, yeah.
Oh man.
I
They
said-
really want it now.
But Brad had hit me with a good line the other day. He was like, man, I had maxed my shit up. So I said, ding. I
You
said,
know
I
what? He
maxed
told
my
me
shit.
that too.
No, with Cash App, you do have a monthly limit though that you can
I know,
send.
but he's saying it was a good out though. He was like, that was a good one,
Yeah,
and
that
that's
was
true.
a good out. Like, so I had to.
You wasn't
Heavy,
supposed to
man.
put that on the pod, man. Now everybody that then watch this, that you tell that to, gonna be like,
Yeah.
yo,
But
it's really
no,
bad.
you know what? Kel said the funniest stuff one time. He was like, somebody was like, "Oh, I like your shoes." I don't know. He had the ones on or something.
Yeah.
And the person was like, "Oh, what size they is?" Kel said, "My size."
Oh, she went to Bedrooms High. That line been out since I was in 3rd grade. That's
Well, maybe that did. I
kids.
just said, did you hear that
Parents,
right, Ashley?
If you ever want to see your
I ain't
kids in
gonna lie,
Bedrooms High,
I
just
did.
they gonna be
Sorry.
smart, but they
I'm
gonna be.
sorry, I did.
Well,
He does not
my
do that.
bad.
I'm with the
my
McKelly.
bad.
And
I
Brad-
feel
Brad
Brad
was
was
a-
went
up.
Brad
I don't
was
know.
a
I feel like that's fighting words. If you asking about, the size of my stuff, sound like you about to try to jag me. So it's my size, and these hands gonna be your size if you keep playing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe nobody
No.
ever tried me, and they was just trying y'all.
Well, yo, don't nobody wear your size.
Okay, well, you see,
Don't let him play with you, Myra.
honestly,
Don't nobody.
I don't think Louboutin is gonna sponsor this podcast, but if y'all do and y'all listening, what Brad? What you told me the other day? You was like, don't tell them designer sizes, tell them regular sizes.
Okay.
Lord.
I'm a 46.
Brad was like, humble yourself. I was like,
I'm 46. Man, what that is? Man, that's that.
That's that.
That's something you can't.
That's that. Put that shit on, big fella.
Not to put that shit on.
Big fella.
You need to go ahead and trademark that before this podcast come out.
Yep. Before
See,
this
that be
episode go live. Before the episode go live, you need to trademark that.
What? Nah, everybody say that. Put that shit on.
Who is everybody?
See, Bedrooms High. This is the
We're out
pros
of
and
touch or
cons of
something?
going
Are we
to
out of touch?
a super magnet. What it is? What is Bedrooms High? Magnet.
Don't even worry about it, cause we everything y'all
They
not
so
for me when I
behind.
feel targeted.
Y'all need to go in the trenches a little bit.
In the
Man.
trenches.
Y'all need to go
First
with
of
somebody
all,
who
the
drive-
trenches came to us because y'all came to every festivity that we had.
First of all, because y'all act like we don't know. Wait, Brad, what high school you went to? Cause
She
you
went
about
to
get in
Glen
on
Oaks.
this. Oh, you was Glen Oaks. I got no fuck with Glen Oaks. Okay, look. So McKinley, first of all, y'all was always crushing on Baton Rouge high girls.
And that's on
anyways.
period.
And that's
But
on
no,
period.
because y'all had cars.
We did.
Everybody, they had the little bugs, the little PT crews, the little You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Dang, it was just the cars. That sound like future bums to me.
That's
what that sound
just
like.
getting how you live.
Man,
Oh,
whatever.
Lord.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like, come scoop me from McKinley. Come scoop me.
You gonna
Yeah.
come? You gonna come to the south? You know we right around the corner.
Yeah, man.
You
pull
gonna
up,
come to the football game? We could go get some chicken after.
Not the
Yeah.
chicken.
You know
That's
what
what y'all
y'all
was
was
saying.
saying.
What you was
we
saying?
had a quick set
No.
around the corner.
I want to hear that. What you was telling girls in high school? Like how you was
Give
picking
us
up-
your punchline
Yeah,
on
what
the way out.
What you was saying?
Good morning. Hey, they good morning to you. That's
Seven
it.
look like the type of dude. Good morning, beautiful. You want me to walk you to first period?
Oh, no, we ain't.
Nah, Seven was probably copy and pasting it with
Boy,
the
yeah.
He was
Boy,
he
you
was
copy.
diabolical with it.
You got
Oh,
to copy
yeah.
and paste.
You had like a starting five. Or?
Cause you ain't. First of all, I'm waking up at 6. I gotta hurry up and get to the bus stop at like 7.
So while you waiting on the bus around the
but if
corner,
you really want to make a good impression, that text gotta go out before you get on the bus. It's like, damn, they
Not a good impression.
First thing in the morning.
all right, we done with you. We gonna talk more about you and how you do relationships
On another
later.
episode,
'Cause
on
we need
another
more.
episode.
We need you to expand. Okay, we need more. Okay, but with all that being said, I
Yeah.
want to thank our guests, Myra and Brad. We'll leave their links in the bio, and their @s will probably be on the screen. They will be on the screen. May not be on the screen.
And Brad, he be sending out them text messages that let y'all know to pull up everywhere. Them little mass text messages.
Right.
Yeah.
So
if you want to know the moves, get on the texting list.
So all their information to find them social medias will be linked down below in the bio. Thank you so much for tuning in to Boss Talks Radio with Seven and Ash co-hosting. We'll see you next week.